what y'all need answers to, gang. I said what the fuck I said. I don't gotta touch bases on that. I'm not talking about nobody else's child on the street.
Junior right here, weird as a bitch. You weird as shit. You weird as shit.
What's wrong?
You weird as shit. Ain't nobody stalking you.
Welcome back to BuzzBuster. I'm glad you're here. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss daily videos. Chrisean Rock is now caught up in extremely serious talk about a possible life sentence after her name surfaced in a shocking alleged murder-for-hire investigation connected to the father of her child. What first sounded like messy internet gossip is now being discussed as something far more serious. The information coming out is leaving people stunned, and the situation being talked about behind the scenes goes way deeper than the viral clips and chaotic live stream moments people usually see online. At first, many people brushed it off as just another round of celebrity drama.
I only talk about my own children. I don't talk about other people's kids. Shout out to Izzy, Is You Cool Ho. Is You Cool Ho, okay? Cool? Shout out to Is You Cool Ho for the...
But now, the story is taking a darker turn, and the details being discussed are raising serious questions. The public only sees the loud arguments, social media fights, and trending moments. But according to reports being talked about, investigators believe there may have been much more happening behind the scenes. One tense moment that had viewers buzzing involved a heated exchange where someone could be heard saying, "Girl, right here, Junior. Right, you weird. Ain't nobody stalking you. That's my..." That moment alone sparked a flood of speculation online. Fans started asking what was really going on behind the camera, especially considering the chaotic relationship drama and non-stop internet attention surrounding the situation.
Exactly, I already said it on Twitter. What the fuck else you want?
Now, the situation being discussed is far more serious. Investigators are reportedly examining claims that a dangerous plan may have been organized against the biological father of her son. According to reports circulating, the situation tragically ended with a man losing his life. Federal agents are said to be reviewing phone records, identifying potential suspects, and piecing together timelines that could lead to extremely serious criminal charges if any allegations are proven true. If these claims end up being confirmed, the story may be far more complex and calculated than many people ever imagined. Reports also claim that someone within the extended circle or family may have revealed key information about what really happened. That alleged information could expose how far certain people may have gone to keep secrets hidden and protect reputations. Even people within the hip-hop community are reacting with shock. Many are saying this situation has moved way beyond internet entertainment and viral drama. The conversation now includes allegations involving conspiracy, organized activity, and a heartbreaking reality. A child who may grow up without truly knowing his biological father.
Thanks for reminding everybody. It's already been said, chat. I will not be speaking on behalf of that no longer.
After a tragedy tied to identity, fame, loyalty, and money. Before going any further, one thing needs to be made clear. Reports circulating online claim that federal authorities have opened a homicide investigation where Chrisean Rock's name has allegedly come up during discussions connected to the death of Ronnie Doe. Ronnie was the man who had publicly stated that he believed he was Junior's real father and had been pushing hard to be recognized. Now listen carefully, because this story is filled with rumors, speculation, and loud opinions across the internet. The goal here is to separate what people are claiming from what is actually confirmed. Individuals close to the situation have been saying this situation might run much deeper than the usual relationship drama that plays out online. Some conversations surrounding the case mention the possibility of serious federal crimes. There have been discussions about alleged conspiracy across state lines and claims that investigators are examining whether the incident may have been planned ahead of time. Those are major allegations, and they are exactly why the situation is getting so much attention. February 3rd, 2025, at exactly 7:10 p.m. That is the moment many people following the story say everything changed. Ronnie Doe, a 24-year-old man from Baltimore who had been publicly pushing for a paternity test, was reportedly shot outside his home. Authorities allegedly described the situation as a targeted attack, not random violence. According to reports circulating online, Ronnie had been speaking openly about wanting DNA confirmation. He believed the truth about the child's father would soon come out.
It's not my business, it's not my place.
And people say he was expecting proof that could settle the question once and for all. But this is where the situation suddenly becomes even more intense. People tracking the case claim investigators have been reviewing phone records, possible connections between individuals, and movements that may have crossed multiple states. Authorities are reportedly trying to determine if more than one person could have been involved in what they are examining as a very serious criminal situation. And this is where the story starts getting extremely messy. According to claims spreading across social media, the trail of questions and suspicions keeps circling back toward one public figure whose image has long been tied to a very specific relationship story. Some critics online are even arguing that her fame, her public brand, and a large part of her income were all connected to the belief that a different man was the father of her child. Because of that, they believe there may have been intense pressure to keep that narrative alive no matter what. So now the big question people keep asking is this: where did this entire situation actually begin? Understanding how this situation started is important because the early days may explain how things slowly turned into something far darker and more serious.
Chrisean Rock, a young woman from Baltimore with big ambitions and a very chaotic road to fame, reportedly became connected to Blueface's label around 2021. At that time, she was not yet a major name, and she was still trying to build a following, release music, and gain attention both online and in the streets. In the music industry, relationships between artists and labels can get complicated very quickly.
I'm not gonna lie, Blueface talk a lot of shit and he trolls a lot, we notice, but for him to come out and say that Chrisean Jr. is not his son, hold on, let me read exactly what he said.
Especially when there is a major power imbalance involved. One side often controls the money, the connections, and the spotlight, while the other side is trying to break through and secure their place in the industry. Blueface reportedly had the resources, the industry connections, and the kind of visibility that many new artists dream about. Meanwhile, Chrisean's next move in the spotlight was heavily tied to that opportunity. Her exposure, her income, and a large part of her public image were connected to that relationship and the viral attention surrounding it. And that type of setup can create serious pressure. When someone feels like their future depends on one situation working out, the stakes suddenly become extremely high. Every move starts to matter more, every headline becomes bigger, and every decision can feel like it could change everything. Some observers have even claimed that early on she realized her viral value was not just about music. The spotlight was also driven by drama, relationship headlines, and the chaotic moments that kept people watching online. Her role in the spotlight was not only about songs or performances, it was also about the constant stream of arguments, emotional moments, and unpredictable scenes that turned into viral clips. Every explosive moment brought more views, more attention, and more people talking across social media. The internet followed the situation almost like reality television, watching each argument, breakup, and reunion play out in front of millions. But according to people who say they were close to the situation, the story behind the scenes may have been much more complicated than fans realized. What reportedly started as a simple business connection quickly became something personal, and many claim it was far from a healthy situation. While the public stayed focused on the loud chaos surrounding Blueface, some claims started circulating that Chrisean may have had someone else in her life behind the scenes. Someone who was not part of the internet drama, not chasing viral moments, and not trying to be in the spotlight. According to people discussing the situation, there were already signs early on that things around her were becoming complicated and messy. Critics say she often appeared to be trying to prove loyalty, trying to secure her place, and constantly fighting for attention in a situation that looked unstable from the outside. From a distance, it looked like a non-stop cycle of pressure, public drama, and emotional tension playing out in front of millions. Some observers believe that kind of pressure can push people into extremely difficult choices. When someone feels like their entire future depends on one situation working out, the pressure can build quickly, and the decisions people make can become more intense. Now this brings the story to Ronnie Doe, because his name sits right at the center of this entire tragedy. People who say they knew him claim he was not someone chasing internet fame. He was not trying to attach himself to a celebrity name just to get attention or followers. According to individuals who claim to know the situation personally, Ronnie was simply someone from Baltimore who cared deeply about Chrisean and stood by her through serious struggles. Some say he supported her even during times when it could have damaged his own reputation or created problems for him.
And mind y'all, he just posted this. Junior is not my biological son. RIP to his father, Ronnie. I can no longer continue to plot. It doesn't feel right as a present father in all my kids' life to be discredited as an absent father to a child.
People close to the situation claim Ronnie was the real boyfriend behind the scenes, the person around when the cameras were off and the internet drama slowed down. While the public watched the explosive relationship with Blueface play out across social media, Ronnie was reportedly still part of her private life, away from the spotlight. Instead of viral clips and arguments, some sources claim Ronnie was the one offering quiet support behind closed doors. People say he tried to look out for her, helped her emotionally during rough moments, and remained loyal even as the chaos surrounding her life kept getting bigger. Then something happened that truly shocked people who had been following the story closely. Suddenly, new information began surfacing that would raise even more questions about what was really going on behind the scenes. The situation got even more attention when Chrisean's sister reportedly made a statement that immediately had people talking. In a clip that started spreading online, she said, "That was my brother-in-law, and he still is. He will love you and my nephew, and Ronnie ain't gonna play with him. He already went to jail for you once." That comment quickly fueled even more discussion about what might have really been happening behind the scenes. For many people watching the story unfold, that statement raised a major point. According to that claim, Ronnie had already shown serious loyalty in the past by getting into legal trouble while trying to defend or protect her. Supporters of Ronnie say that situation showed how just committed he was to her and how deeply he was involved in her life long before the public started paying attention.
But this is where the timeline started raising serious questions online. When people began comparing the dates of Chrisean's highly public relationship drama with Blueface and the time she was purportedly spending around Ronnie, some observers noticed something interesting. They started suggesting that Ronnie appeared to be a steady presence in her life behind the scenes during periods when the public relationship with Blueface seemed to be off again. According to some sources discussing the situation, there were times when she was spending time with Ronnie away from cameras and away from social media. Then, when the pregnancy became public, the timeline created even more speculation. Critics online began claiming that Ronnie believed he had information suggesting he might actually be the biological father of the child. Ronnie reportedly did not stay silent about what he believed. People say he brought it up publicly several times and explained that Chrisean had been traveling back and forth between Los Angeles and Baltimore during the time the child was conceived. That detail alone added another layer of controversy to an already messy situation. And this is where the conversation around the story became even more intense. Critics across social media started questioning some of Chrisean's choices during the pregnancy. Some people argued that she appeared more focused on maintaining her public image and the viral relationship drama than stepping away from the chaos. During that time, multiple clips and posts were circulating online showing her still attending parties, dealing with heated arguments, and continuing the same unpredictable lifestyle that had
already made headlines across the internet. As more of those moments spread online, people watching the situation began raising serious concerns about everything that was happening behind the scenes. Many people pointed out that pregnancy is usually a time when someone tries to be extra careful about stress, health, and the environment around them. It is often a period where people slow things down, focus on stability, and try to create a calmer space before welcoming a child into the world. Supporters argued that living life in the spotlight can make that extremely difficult. Cameras, public attention, and constant internet criticism can put pressure on anyone. But critics watching the situation unfold online felt that the lifestyle being shown in viral clips did not match what they expected from someone preparing to become a parent. Then, when Junior was born, viewers quickly began noticing that the baby appeared to have certain health challenges. That observation sparked even more conversations across social media. People started asking whether a quieter environment or more consistent prenatal care might have made a difference, though these discussions quickly turned into heated debates online. Instead of the conversation calming down, the argument about paternity only grew louder.
Junior right here, weird as a bitch. You weird as shit. You weird as shit.
What's wrong?
You weird as shit. Ain't nobody stalking you.
Critics began saying that if Ronnie truly had a chance of being the biological father, acknowledging that possibility could have completely changed the public story surrounding her relationship. Some observers believed that such a revelation could have disrupted the image and viral narrative that had already been built around her public life. The question people kept asking was why Chrisean appeared so determined to keep Blueface in the father role publicly. According to many people following the situation, it was not only about a relationship. Ronnie was described as a regular man from Baltimore. He was not part of the entertainment industry, did not have a massive platform, and was not surrounded by fame or major wealth. To some observers, that meant he could not offer the same lifestyle opportunities that come with being connected to someone already established in the music industry. On the other side of the situation, Blueface represented something completely different. Being publicly tied to a well-known artist meant visibility, industry relevance, and a connection to a world built around fame, attention, and opportunity. That contrast alone kept the conversation heated online. But things became even more controversial when the first DNA test reportedly claiming Blueface was the father began circulating. Almost immediately, people online started questioning the details. According to discussions happening at the time, the paperwork and presentation of the test did not look like what many expected from a standard medical lab result. Some observers pointed out that the envelope appeared unsealed, the documents looked worn, and certain steps that normally come with official testing were not clearly shown. Those small details sparked even more speculation across social media. Adding to the confusion, Blueface himself later posted messages online expressing doubts about the results. Those posts quickly spread across the internet, pushing the debate even further and leaving many people wondering what the real truth behind the situation might be. Blueface himself later posted something that added even more confusion to the situation. In a message that quickly spread online, he wrote, "I knew there was something off. I didn't think that was my baby. That DNA test was a little weird when I read it. It seemed fake. I had no control over the test." That statement immediately caught attention across social media.
If the very person being publicly presented as the father was questioning the results, it naturally raised even more questions. People started wondering whether the test that had been shown earlier was truly reliable, or if something about the process had not been handled the way people expected. Another detail that raised eyebrows was the involvement of a television network. The paternity situation was reportedly being discussed as part of reality show content, and that made many viewers uncomfortable. When something as serious as determining a child's father becomes part of entertainment, some people begin to wonder whether the truth is getting lost in the spectacle. Meanwhile, Ronnie continued pushing for answers. According to people familiar with the situation, he remained determined to prove his claim and fight for recognition as the father. Instead of staying quiet, he chose to speak openly and publicly about what he believed was the truth. Ronnie started posting frequently across social media, going live on different platforms, and asking for one simple thing:
a legitimate DNA test that everyone could trust. His message was consistent every time. He wanted the question settled once and for all. In several posts, Ronnie even shared side-by-side photos comparing Junior with pictures of himself when he was younger. A lot of viewers said the resemblance looked striking. The comment sections quickly filled with strangers
worship my little nigga like that. I don't know, it would have been better off having a
pointing out what they believed were similar facial features, expressions, and other small details. His live streams were especially emotional. People who tuned in often saw someone who looked genuinely hurt and frustrated about being kept away from a child he believed was his. The situation seemed deeply personal for him, and that emotion came through clearly during those broadcasts. During one of those live streams, he said, "All I'm asking is for us to hold adults accountable. If Junior is not my son, I deserve to have that proven to me through a DNA test. If Junior is not my son, the DNA test will prove that right or wrong." His words quickly spread across social media. At another moment, he spoke directly to the viewers watching, saying, "Any father on here? Any real man? Any father would want to make things right and would want to know if that's his child." Those statements resonated with many people following the situation. To a lot of viewers, it did not sound like someone chasing internet attention. Instead, it sounded like someone who believed he was a father and was desperately trying to get clarity about the truth. But as Ronnie became louder about the paternity question and kept demanding proper testing, the pressure surrounding the situation reportedly started building quickly. The entire story was becoming more intense with every passing week. Around that same time, Chrisean also posted messages online that sparked serious debate. In one post that quickly spread the internet, she wrote, "All who think they can speak on my son always lose their life. I wonder why they keep going when they go in to see the end result of trying to harm me for your personal clout and gain." Those words immediately grabbed people's attention and added even more tension to an already explosive situation. Social media users began debating what the message meant, and the controversy surrounding the entire story only continued to grow. Critics across social media quickly began interpreting those posts as a warning. To many people watching the situation unfold online, the message sounded like a sign that anyone who challenged the story surrounding Junior could face serious consequences. Once people started connecting different events that happened afterward, the entire situation began to look much more troubling to outside observers. Some online users pointed out that Blueface had already faced legal trouble and spent time in jail during the same period when the paternity debate was happening publicly. Then, later, Ronnie, the man who had been loudly demanding a proper DNA test, tragically lost his life. For many people watching from the outside, those events created a timeline that raised even more suspicion and questions. February 3rd, 2025, at around 7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, investigators say that was the moment everything suddenly changed. Reports of gunshots brought officers from the Anne Arundel County Police Department rushing to a residential neighborhood on Sea Pine Circle in Severn, Maryland. Neighbors in that normally quiet area were shocked as police vehicles and emergency responders flooded the street. What had been a calm evening quickly turned into a tense and confusing scene as authorities worked to understand what had happened. When officers arrived, reports say they found Ronnie outside his home suffering from gunshot wounds. The situation was immediately treated with urgency as first responders secured the area and began gathering information. Early reports suggested that this was not being treated as a robbery or a random act of street violence. Instead, authorities quickly began examining the possibility that the attack had been targeted. Investigators reportedly focused on several key details at the scene. One of the biggest concerns was the fact that the shooting happened directly outside Ronnie's home. That detail raised serious questions about whether the person responsible may have known where he lived. If that were the case, investigators would also consider whether the attacker may have known details about his daily routine, movements, or schedule. Situations like that often require a deeper level of investigation. Because of the circumstances surrounding the case, local authorities classified the situation as a homicide investigation very early in the process. That decision would later open the door for a much larger investigation, bringing in additional law enforcement resources as officials worked to piece together what really happened that night. Early findings from investigators reportedly suggested that this was not a random act of violence at all. Detectives examining the case believed the shooting showed signs of being targeted, meaning someone may have specifically intended for Ronnie Doe to be harmed. That conclusion alone raised the seriousness of the investigation immediately. When law enforcement begins suspecting that a crime may have been planned ahead of time, the case can quickly become much more complex. Investigators often start digging deeper into communications, timelines, and possible connections between different people involved. If evidence supports it, situations like that can lead to much heavier criminal charges. Now this is where things reportedly started escalating fast. In certain situations, federal authorities can become involved when investigators believe there may be larger elements connected to the case. That can include things like alleged conspiracy across state lines, organized criminal activity, or even potential murder-for-hire scenarios being examined. Federal agencies do not step into every local homicide investigation. They usually become involved only when certain legal thresholds are met and when authorities believe the situation might extend beyond a single local event. When that happens, the investigation can expand very quickly. According to sources discussing the case, investigators also began reviewing communications connected to individuals believed to be close to the situation. Detectives reportedly looked into phone records, possible connections, and relationships between people who may have had contact with Ronnie before the incident. One name that surfaced during online discussions was someone known as Quail, who some reports described as a longtime associate connected to Chrisean Rock. Law enforcement sources mentioned in various reports claim that Quail has ties to Baltimore and became someone investigators looked at closely while trying to understand whether other individuals might have had knowledge about the situation. As rumors about the investigation began spreading across the internet, Quail later went live on social media to respond to the speculation. During that live stream, he said, "Like this really crazy, like y'all want to speak to me about something I don't know about, all because when I roll the block, I smoke. But I like if y'all watching, because y'all only doing this off YouTube." That response quickly spread across social media. People across different platforms immediately began debating what his comments meant. Some viewers believed he was denying involvement, while others thought the situation raised even more questions. But the story became even more explosive when Chrisean's own sister, Teseki, appeared on a podcast with Jason Lee. During that interview, her comments sparked a new wave of controversy because many viewers felt that some of her words hinted at deeper knowledge about the situation behind the scenes. During the podcast interview, Teseki appeared very careful about what she chose to say. But when Jason Lee directly asked about Ronnie's death and the situation surrounding it, her reaction immediately caught everyone's attention. Instead of giving a clear answer, she paused for a moment and carefully picked her words. She responded by saying, "I can't even really speak on it because it's my family." That short response quickly spread across social media and sparked a huge wave of discussion online. Many viewers felt the message behind those words carried serious weight. When someone's own sister publicly suggests that a situation connected to their family is too sensitive to discuss, it naturally raises eyebrows. The clip circulated rapidly, with people replaying that moment and analyzing every part of her reaction. Her hesitation and careful phrasing made some viewers believe she might know more than she was willing to say publicly. To many people watching, it sounded like someone trying to avoid revealing details that could create serious consequences for people close to her. When she said, "I can't even really speak on this because it's my family," the statement suggested that whatever information she might have could be extremely personal and sensitive. That alone added another layer of mystery to an already intense story.
Some observers later argued that her comment hinted at the possibility that Ronnie's situation may have been connected to the ongoing conflict surrounding the paternity question. The pressure, the public arguments, and the constant attention online had already created a tense environment around everyone involved. And just when the story already seemed complicated, another development reportedly pushed the controversy even further. According to discussions circulating online, Blueface later took another DNA test, this time through more formal legal channels. That version of testing could potentially be used in court if needed. When reports about the results started spreading online, they immediately added even more fuel to the debate. Many people claimed the outcome supported what Ronnie had been insisting all along, which only made the entire situation even more explosive. The reported result from that new DNA test shocked a lot of people who had been closely following the story. According to claims spreading online, the results showed that Junior was not Blueface's biological son. That revelation immediately sent social media into a frenzy, with people debating what the news could mean for everything that had already happened. Blueface later explained why he decided to speak publicly about the test. He said he was concerned about how the situation might affect his reputation as a father to his other children. According to his explanation, he did not want people believing that he was ignoring his real kids or failing to show up for them in their lives. But the timing of that announcement raised a lot of questions for observers watching the situation unfold. The statement came after Ronnie had already lost his life while demanding answers about the paternity question. Because of that timeline, the news quickly sparked intense debate across social media platforms. Some people believed the decision to reveal the results was simply about honesty and finally clearing the air. Others questioned whether the announcement might also be connected to growing legal pressure or the expanding investigation surrounding the case. For many people following the story, the biggest question became simple but powerful. Why reveal this information now? Why wait until after Ronnie was gone and unable to see the results he had been demanding for so long? That timing alone led some online commentators and legal analysts to speculate that investigators could be speaking with multiple individuals connected to the situation. In complex cases like this, authorities often gather information from different people in order to piece together a clearer timeline. Now, this brings up another important part of the discussion: why authorities reportedly believe they could be building a strong legal case if evidence supports the claims being examined. Federal prosecutors usually pursue cases only when they believe there is substantial evidence that could hold up in court. According to analysts discussing the situation, investigators often focus on several major elements when examining cases like this. One of the biggest factors is motive. Critics have argued that Chrisean's public brand, income opportunities, and online relevance were heavily tied to the story involving Blueface and the child. If that narrative were proven incorrect, some observers believe it could have significantly changed her public image and the business opportunities connected to her fame. Another major factor investigators often examine in serious cases is opportunity. Authorities usually look closely at whether individuals connected to a situation may have had access to people capable of carrying out a violent act. If evidence suggests that possibility, investigators will carefully study those connections and relationships. Reports discussing the case claim that certain individuals around the situation may have known people who could potentially carry out harmful actions. That type of claim is exactly the kind of detail law enforcement would investigate thoroughly if any credible evidence pointed in that direction. One name that has frequently come up in discussions about the case is Quayle. Some reports describe him as someone connected to Baltimore with alleged ties to street groups. Because of those reported connections, investigators have allegedly taken a closer look at his communications while trying to piece together the timeline surrounding the incident. According to sources discussing the investigation, phone records and digital communication may play a major role in understanding what really happened. In complex cases like this, authorities often review messages, call logs, and even travel patterns to determine whether any coordination may have taken place between different individuals. In
Investigators are also believed to be analyzing the circumstances of the crime itself. The fact that the shooting reportedly happened directly outside Ronnie's home, combined with the timing close to when he was publicly pushing for a DNA test, has led some observers to question whether the incident could have been something other than random violence.
In cases involving alleged conspiracy, prosecutors typically focus on whether there was planning involved. They often look for evidence of communication between multiple people, clear intent behind the act, and any signs that the event may have been organized in advance. Another element being discussed is social media activity. Posts shared online can sometimes become evidence if investigators believe they reveal threats, intent, or emotional motives connected to a case. Because of that, certain messages posted publicly have been widely debated across the internet. For example, statements like, "Everyone that thinks they can speak on my son always lose their life," have been heavily discussed online. Some people argue those words could be interpreted as threatening, while others believe posts like that can be misunderstood, depending on context. Legal commentators have also mentioned that investigators sometimes examine whether multiple people may have been working together in an organized way. In rare situations, that kind of investigation can expand into broader charges if authorities believe certain actions were coordinated to protect influence, money, or reputation. But through all the speculation, debate, and controversy surrounding the story, many people agree on one heartbreaking reality. The child at the center of this situation may ultimately carry the deepest emotional impact from everything that has happened. The consequences of these events could follow that child for many years to come, no matter how the investigation eventually unfolds. According to people who supported Ronnie, his final months were spent trying to prove one thing: that he was the real father and deserved a place in his child's life. Friends and supporters say he kept pushing for answers, hoping that a legitimate DNA test would finally settle the question once and for all. When you step back and really examine the full timeline, the entire situation starts to feel even more tragic. A young child is now caught in the middle of a storm filled with investigations, online accusations, family conflict, and a story that continues to shock people across the hip-hop community. If the claims being discussed ever become fully proven in court, the consequences could be massive for everyone involved. Allegations involving federal conspiracy, homicide investigations, and possible organized activity are not small accusations. These are the types of cases that can permanently change lives. Investigators are reportedly still working carefully to piece together every detail. That process often includes reviewing phone records, financial activity, travel history, and statements from people connected to the situation. In cases like this, every message, every phone call, and every timeline detail can become extremely important evidence. Legal experts often explain that investigations of this scale can take a long time to fully unfold. Sometimes it can take months, and in some cases even years, before authorities reach clear conclusions. Federal investigators are known for moving slowly but carefully, building their cases step by step before bringing any major charges. Meanwhile, the internet continues to debate what really happened. Supporters, critics, and curious observers are all watching closely as new information continues to surface online. Every new report or statement quickly spreads across social media and fuels even more discussion. One thing many people agree on is that this story is far from over. With investigators still searching for answers and more individuals speaking publicly about the situation, the truth behind Ronnie Doe's death may eventually come fully into the spotlight. And when that truth finally emerges, the fallout could send shockwaves through the industry and the communities connected to the story. The deeper investigators reportedly look into the situation, the more complicated the entire timeline appears to become. What first looked like another round of celebrity internet drama has slowly transformed into something far more serious. Now it is being discussed as a case filled with unanswered questions, emotional family conflict, and the tragic loss of a life that still has people demanding
demanding the truth. Law enforcement sources often say that cases involving possible conspiracy are rarely simple. Investigators may spend months analyzing digital footprints, financial transactions, travel records, and communication between multiple individuals in order to understand what truly happened. That means every phone call, every text message, every social media post, and every meeting between people connected to the situation could potentially become part of the evidence trail investigators are examining. In today's world, digital history can reveal patterns that people never expected investigators to see. Phones, messages, location data, and social media activity can all leave behind detailed trails that help authorities understand what may have happened before and after a major event. Another major focus for investigators in situations like this is timing. Authorities often study exactly when key events took place, who contacted who, where individuals were located, and what conversations may have happened leading up to an incident.
When investigators begin placing those details side by side, they can sometimes uncover patterns that raise serious questions. If timelines start lining up in suspicious ways, a case can quickly move from speculation into something much more serious. That is when investigators begin looking deeper into whether any actions may have been planned or coordinated ahead of time. Legal analysts also point out that cases connected to public figures tend to receive much more scrutiny. When celebrities or well-known personalities are involved, investigators know the case will be closely watched by the media and millions of people online. Because of that attention, authorities usually make sure the evidence is extremely solid before moving forward with any major charges. Meanwhile, people connected to the situation continue speaking out across social media. New opinions, statements, and rumors seem to appear almost every week, adding even more layers to the story. Some individuals defend Chrisean and believe the accusations are exaggerated or fueled by internet speculation. Others argue that too many strange events have happened for everything to simply be coincidence. That divide in opinion has kept the story trending as people continue debating what they believe really happened. But while the internet continues discussing theories and speculation, one painful reality remains at the center of everything. A young man lost his life while trying to prove what he believed was his role as a father, and a child may one day grow up asking difficult questions about what really happened during this complicated situation. Now the conversation continues online, and many people are still trying to understand the truth behind everything that has been reported. What do you think about everything that has come out surrounding this case? Do you believe investigators will uncover enough evidence to bring clear answers? And what lessons should people take from a situation like this? If you found this breakdown interesting, share your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation. And if you want more deep dives and updates on major stories like this, make sure you follow the channel and stay tuned for future updates as the case continues to unfold.